maybe anyone who pushes the button disappears, and that's why the whole park is all dirty and abandoned. Ooh! Ideas literally come from everywhere for me. Like, I get ideas from locations, from people I see, from interactions I have with people, from music, videos on YouTube, everywhere. And the idea for Missing came from a location. I was actually doing a location scout for Cutthroat Part 2 at this park right down the road from our house. The park just gave me a vibe that was really creepy and weird, and like, I knew there was a story there. And then I found in the basketball court this random button, this green button on a pole, and I was like, yeah, yeah, there's a story here. I was literally poloing my friend, like trying to come up with an idea when it hit me. I was like, what if when you push the button you disappear? And I was like, yep, I like that. I liked it a lot. The whole film just played out in my head.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
There's like an investigation going on. This guy's sent to the park because there's reports of missing people. So they go to the park and they're seeing all these weird, you know, trash everywhere. Maybe it's not just trash, it's fresh trash. A fast food meal is sitting on one of the tables. There's a basketball rolling on the court. Ah, yeah. Script didn't take me that long. There's not a bunch of dialogue in the film. I think the part that took me the longest was figuring out how I wanted to open the film. I had a couple different ideas before I landed on the 911 call. One of them was like having a news report, like over the radio, like a news broadcast, like telling people to stay away from the park. Police are still investigating that multiple missing persons reports of coming out of this park. And I was just trying to think of how I would actually do that. And I kept thinking it over, you know, trying to get more simple. And eventually I was like, the most simple thing is just to have a one-on-one 911 call. And that just worked really good for me. I really liked the way that worked. The only other thing I got together was a shot list. I didn't worry about doing a storyboard this time. I've done storyboards in the past. I always thought, oh, it's really helpful to have a storyboard. And I've discovered over time that really shot list is what I really needed. After I got the script and shot list together, I wanted to go over the shot list with my brothers who were going to be helping me film. In the past, what I've done is I've just not really told them what I want, and we get there on the day of shooting and I kind of tell them right there and then. I didn't want to do it this time. I wanted to do it with them beforehand so that on the day we kind of all we had our minds connected. I took them to the park one afternoon, gave them each a shot list. We kind of just went over all the shots I wanted to do, kind of explained the whole short film to them. And once he gets in here, we're gonna have some food on the table where we'll get an insert shot, like a POV.
The phone's on the table?
No, we're gonna have the food and like the car keys on the table. You'll see those first. As he walks over here, all these are gonna be tracking shots of some sort. He'll find the phone. Now, I think the phone could either be found on the ground. He'll see that he's got there's a girl's picture on it. It's clearly a teenage girl's phone. There's a bunch of missed calls from mom. Then mom calls him. Your mom calls the phone. He answers. She starts talking. She thinks it's her daughter. Then he says something. And she's like, wait, who are you? Oh my gosh, where's my daughter? What have you done with her? He probably just drops the phone or whatever, and he moves over here real fast. And Abel is probably going to be hunched right here. And so we'll get a shot from OTS over the shoulder of Abel, and then we'll also get a shot from somewhere. When he hears the cry or the yell, he'll look. We'll get a shot from right here and seeing, and we'll get like a messy shot like through one of these things, and he can like barely make out that they're struggling, And then he'll say to the kid, "Stay here," and then he'll run this way. Okay? He'll run. We'll get a quick messy POV of him seeing them fight like right over by the button. Then he'll probably get to about here when he realizes I don't hear anything anymore. He looks up, they're both gone. He continues to run inside about here, and he's spinning around. He's like calling his buddy, just trying to get them familiar with my vision for the film. And I really do think that saved us a lot of time when we shot the film. So the first part, the little stylized like suit up loading of the gun part, I originally didn't have that in the film, in the script. I was just thinking they were just, we'd have a lot of intense driving towards the scene clips. But then I was inspired by some of those shots in the Batman where you see with the red lights, his cowl and his armor and stuff, kind of like his little suit up scene where he puts the stuff on his eyes and stuff. I thought like that really stylized, harsh lighting was really cool. What I ended up doing was just waiting till night, and I set up one light above, and I put one of those, my little Aputure MC light, I put it to blue, and I set it on the ground to give a little blue light on my hands and like face, you know, and I literally just did it like that. Like if it was daytime, you would see the trees in the background. There's not a lot of that in the film, it's just a couple shots. I thought it looked really cool, so I'm glad that turned out well. Day one of shooting was on a Sunday afternoon. My friend Jordan played the small role of Dean in the film.
Kids, don't disappear. Stay home. Anxiety levels and blood pressure amongst parents, loved ones, and relatives goes up extremely when a child is lost, even when gone for only a few hours, even only a couple minutes. Just that little hiccup in the irregularity of life, knowing that you're not at the bus stop, at school, or at a friend's house, which you normally always are. Please, show concern for your parents. Go home, or be where you're supposed to be. This is approved by the Ad Council.
And me.
That's scary.
We shot all of his stuff that Sunday, just got all of it out of the way, which is all I really wanted to do. We couldn't really film anymore because a bunch of people actually showed up to the park. Actually, when they're doing the fight on the court, if I were to pan over, you would see a dad and his son playing basketball on the other side of the court. So I just said, just do it anyway, just don't make like noise, just do it silently. And so they did it. I had them do it like 3 times.
Okay, cut.
One of the first shots of the film that I envisioned was us standing outside of the car, me in the front with my glasses, him in the back on the other side of the car, blurred out, and I was just looking at the park, and it just turned out exactly like what I wanted. And you may have been able to notice on my glasses, you could see a little reflection of the tripod. Couldn't really get away from that. I even spray painted the front of those glasses with like a clear coat so that it would like take down that blur, because if I hadn't, you would have seen it clear as day. Day 2 was a bit of a smaller crew, which is, I mean, it's not really a crew. I mean, it kind of is. It's just me and my brothers. So, that day went pretty well. We filmed pretty much the rest of the film that day. And of course we did the part with my little brother Abel, who played the boy. And he did a great job, actually. It worked out really well. I was hoping that the acting would work out there, and it really did. I think that part turned out really good and kind of creepy, eerie, the feeling I wanted it to have. So that was good. So what we're filming today is all of the shots of, you know, it's on this paper, but I'm walking into the park. I'm gonna see the food, I'm gonna see the purse, I'm gonna keep walking, I'm gonna see the phone, a little phone call happens, and then when I hear Abel, I'm gonna go over to Abel, we're gonna break for lunch then. We're gonna go back to the house, get my child actor, my brother, Abel. We're gonna do that
Child
scene.
star.
Pretty much the last scene is me running into the court in a
How are there
panicky
this many shots in this film?
thing, and yeah, hopefully we can get this done today. Day 2 of missing, and we're about to get started. It was kind of interesting shooting outside the whole film because I found that we were just fighting with the sun a lot. I was like, is this what they do on big movies? They just wait? All right, we're having a bit of trouble. As you see, it's sunny right now, but earlier when we're shooting a lot of stuff out of order. It was like really shady and moody. And so we gotta wait for the clouds to come over and then we can shoot. So we're just kind of chilling, waiting, but we're almost done. It's coming along. Overall, that day went pretty well. I did end up wanting to reshoot a good bit of that day. Not that it was bad, it was just, I feel like some of the shots we could have got better. And since the park is right down the road, I was like, well, we're gonna go do it again. There's no point not to. I wanted this film to be really good. I wanted everything to look really good. I was shooting in 4K, I was shooting in Vlog. I just wanted it to be good. I don't know, and I think it did turn out pretty well, but we did go back a day or 2 later and we basically refilmed everything from when I start walking to the park to where I talk to the boy. For a couple of reasons, I ended up switching lenses. I switched to the 50, and that gave us a lot more of a cinematic look, I think, just with having the more shallow depth of field. It just, I mean, it was, you know, just way less shallow, so you could see a lot more was in focus. Some of the other reasons was I simply thought we could do the shots better. I'm not afraid to reshoot. If I think we could do something better, we're gonna do it. Especially if there's not like other actors or crew involved. If it's just me and one of my brothers, so we can go out like 5 minutes down the road and get it again, I don't see why I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I mean, I did. So overall, filming went pretty good. Now, what can I say? I don't know. It's pretty good. Then came post-production. Post-production. I think the biggest thing with post-production would be sound design. Basically, every single sound in the film was done afterwards. It was kind of windy on the day of filming, so a lot of it sounded like this. I muted it all. Got just a base level of ambience that I had to add each individual footstep. The only part that I didn't add footsteps in would be when I was running into the court. We got that with the shotgun mic, it worked fine. The music's loud on that part anyway, so you're not gonna really hear the footsteps. Artlist was a huge thing. I don't know, what was I gonna say? I used Artlist for this, and first time using Artlist for a film, and Artlist came through. They're the sponsor of this video, so I gotta shout them out. No, they're not. No, I lied. No, I'm not sponsored by Artlist. I'm not sponsored at all. I have no sponsors. No one sponsors me. But I will say, their sound effect library is really good. Music was good too. I went for a more electronic vibe, and I think it delivered. Let's see, what else am I gonna talk about for this? I don't know. I went ahead and shot in Vlog, so I got to just throw a LUT on it. I don't do color. I probably should learn that, shouldn't I? Yeah, I just threw lead on it, but I think it ended up looking pretty good. So yeah, I think that was pretty much it. If you're a filmmaker, you know that like when you have a film idea, you already have the movie in your head before you film it, and then you film it. And a lot of times it doesn't turn out exactly like it was in your head. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes, most of the time, no. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's a tough thing to get like exactly what you envisioned. But I'm happy to say that this one turned out close to what I had in my head. I am really happy with how the film turned out. If you haven't seen it, you're gonna wanna go check it out. I would go check it out. Okay, well, you know what I'm saying. Go ahead and comment down below what you thought of the film. Any questions? Not that I have good answers, but I you know, who doesn't like a good question? Thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time I pick up the camera. That towel was so I didn't get my back wet. It just rained. Why did I do that? Okay, let's go get in position. We're about to get a line of dialogue. First line of dialogue in the whole film.
Yeah.
That's not true.